first opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line with the San Francisco 49ers. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
On second down, it's Coleman, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go. Black 80! I got one.
On first down, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo, and that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Charles, as the Falcons come back out here on offense, you got to help me process their 2019 season. One thing for sure, fair to say that they were a second-half team, as in second half of the season, because this club started 1-7, 6-game losing streak, weeks 3 through 8. The talk about Dan Quinn maybe being let go, and maybe it was a team that needed to bottom out and get a high draft pick. But then a funny thing happened. They started to win.
Yeah, maybe I should get a cardigan, get a pipe, sit down and listen to you talk your way through this team, because it's a lot to process, isn't it? But one thing about Dan Quinn as their head coach, relentlessly positive. Never let go of that. The team stayed with him. Many people thought maybe he might have lost the team. He never did. And they had that big finish, 6-2, one of the best marks in football, including beating New Orleans on the road, beating San Francisco on the road. So when you look at it, ownership said, hey, this team likes playing for this coach. Let's give it one more shot. Now, he'll have to retool his staff a little bit again. But bottom line is that team believed in their head coach. Head coach believed in his team. They've got a chance in 2020 to get back in the the NFC South race.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Sack, baby.
On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep, Trent Taylor. Shifts by him. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Time to revisit what we thought of San Francisco in the Super Bowl here, Charles, as they come back out on offense. They were looking to draw even with the Steelers and the Pats with 6 Super Bowl titles, but that's going to have to wait at least another year. Now, are you still bullish on this team moving forward?
I absolutely am. And I know it goes against the grain a little bit because typically the team that loses the Super Bowl, it's not just the Super Bowl winner that has a hangover. Super Bowl loser has a struggle the next year as well. I think this team is built to come back and compete for another Super Bowl title. Offensive line, I really like it. They'll get Weston Richburg back at center. I think that the running game will continue to get better. And don't be surprised if they actually draft a runner to try and supplement things.
Here we go.
They'll increase the receiving core. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo will continue to improve at quarterback. And on the defensive side, they feel like they have a lot to prove because of the way the game ended for them. They didn't shut them down. I think this is a team that will be on a mission in 2020.
And I'm not putting this all on Kyle Shanahan, but just for him, how crushing the loss he had as the OC with Atlanta, and now this lead that he loses as the head coach of San Francisco.
He'll be hearing from guys like you and me all year long about those 2 games now. Leads, not doing certain things that we expected him to do, i.e. running the football down the stretch. He'll have all offseason to digest that. But one thing about Kyle Shanahan, very confident in himself. I think he handles these things well, and he'll use it as fuel as well, too.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Ryan, and from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
You got it. You got it.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Ready. 54. Right, 54. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Ready to go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. Well, dump-off gets him 9, so now they're in much better shape for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And that is incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
Here's Matt Bosher now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Here we go.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This one from 46 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I
would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, it's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Ryan to throw. And he coughed it up. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. On 1st down, Coleman. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's out right at the 25. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On third down, Ryan. And this one brought in by Sanu. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On first down, here's Breida. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Open man is born. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 21 yards away. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Ryan. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taylor now returning it. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They will run again with Coleman. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down. Yeah, baby. Boom. Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! 45 to Mike. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo gives to Breida, and he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go, here we go.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Double tight, double tight. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
They run again with Breida. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So the victory here for San Francisco.